Isn't technology great? Arguably, it is the thing that makes us most human. The ability to make tools and build upon the ideas of thinkers and doers before us is the hallmark of the human species. That's what I want this series to be about. The past, present, and potential futures of technological trends that affect our species in a myriad of different ways. The way in which the format of What We'll Miss, patent pending, will take is following the human story of technology. You can watch it being recorded live on my Twitch stream and the making of on Behind the Curtains, but What We'll Miss will primarily be a podcast. Now, if I ask a question, what is the most important technology ever created? There would be a cacophony of people stumbling over each other to answer. And by all means, please answer in the comment section below. I would make the argument that fire has been the most important technology ever to grace our mortal minds. Is fire even a technology? I hear you gasp in an exclamatory fashion, dabbing your brow with your pocket handkerchief because you are obviously a Victorian gentleman displaced out of time. There was a great anecdote that Sir David Attenborough told in reference to an Amazon tribe that had little to no contact with the outside world. They showed the villagers one of their crew planes landing on the river. The villagers seemed completely unfazed by this technological marvel. When asked why they weren't amazed by a flying vehicle, their collective response was, "Of course you can fly. You can make fire in your hand." It's quite hard to overstate the importance that fire has had on our species. It's the very beginning of the tech tree. Well, that and the pointy stick. But the pointy stick has had more than enough media attention. Number 1. Natural fires. Purifies the land and allows life to renew. Many positives to a natural forest fire that are overlooked because of all the, devastation. Number 2. Lighting. Controlled light changed when productivity could be initiated. Anyone coming from the experience of a survival game will know that more than half the battle is nighttime itself. Being able to see what you are doing to defend yourself, build and craft things, as well as being able to relax after a day's work, allowed for a sense of culture to grow. Number 3. Heating. From making uninhabitable places habitable to allowing for comfort so more cerebral matters can occur. It's hard to think when you're shivering. Number 4. Cooking. This is a big one. Cooking our food unlocked the calories that would be lost in our digestive system. This paved the way for efficient energy production, allowing the human brain to evolve culturally. It's hard to think when you're hungry. Number 5. Building. Baking of bricks for strength and versatility. This quite literally paved the way for modern structures all the way around the world. From sun-baked mud bricks to the modern specialized kiln-baked bricks, to glass blowing and tempered glass in skyscrapers, to the invention of glass blowing, which added not only to the human species' arts and culture but also led to the creation of tempered glass, working with steel frames to allow for the building of skyscrapers. Number 6. Communication. Smoke signals and signal fires. Being able to communicate quickly over vast distances over your territory made defense, attack, and war in general more efficient, and increment by increment led to the internet over the millennia. Number 7. Tool creation. Blacksmithing. Talk to any blacksmith and they will let you know that smithing is the most important trade. Without blacksmithing, every industry would be down to the bare hands of its labor. Being able to fashion a tool for any need is what made us big brain monkeys so successful. It may even lead us to our own downfall soon enough, with machines that can make more machines, with a general AI as a brain, which is yet another fabricated tool that came out of the itchy-footed monkey brain. Number 8. Weaponry, defense and hunting. With all the above, pointy sticks got pointier and a hell of a lot scarier. The modern pointy stick can now level a megacity, and everyone has one. This, however, was the logical conclusion from understanding the fear of fire and animals for hunting could be used to win wars, and make your in-group safer than the out-group. Fire as a weapon has vast power, even when wielded sparingly, which is never. Still to this day, that notion hasn't really stopped. Though fire now takes the form of an AK-47, or a nuclear submarine, armed with enough warheads to start a decade-long winter. Don't worry though, we have a responsible people with the fingers on the triggers. Right? That's a scary thought. Moving on. Number 9. Steam engine. Energy creation. Still to this day, we are using steam power. The incredible thing about our modern energy source of nuclear power is just a very interesting and complex steam engine. At the end of the day, you are just using the heat of radioactive isotopic decay as heat to boil a butt-ton of water to make steam to turn a turbine. It goes to show that good ideas can really make the difference in society. Number 10. Internal combustion. Much the same as the steam engine, the internal combustion engine redesigned the countries we lived in, from muddy equestrian bridle paths to motorways for trade and travel. It even made our huge metal birds take flight with the cargo that revolutionized trade, travel, and tourism. Though it looks like the future will look down on the genius that is the internal combustion engine from the advent of economically viable electric cars, the route to future propulsions is very much thanks to it. Number 11. Chemistry, medicine and industry, and future propulsion. Now, I shan't pretend to know much about chemistry and its history, but what I can say is the impact on medicine, food, industry, and fuel for propulsion is endless and something that needs to be researched more in depth for sure. The most intriguing prospect coming out of the joint forces of chemistry and theoretical physics is the race to create efficient fusion power. Once this Pandora's box is finally open, the inside joke is that it's always 20 years away. It will take us to the stars. In my mind, there is a direct link between the infinite work fire has done for humanity, good and bad, to the advent of fusion energy. Once we as a species has added this tool to our repertoire, we will easily be able to make a foundation of living and working in space. This would make the leap from us being a Type 0.78 civilization to a Type 1 civilization. If you need to know why that is important for humanity, you can watch my YouTube video on why spending on space isn't a waste of money. Episode 5 of Brain Vomit on Rocknov Rehab if you were wondering, link in the thing. Number 12. Branding and artwork. The earliest evidence of cave art was discovered in January 2021. It was found to be at least 45,500 years old and exists in Lang Tediang, I think, cave in Indonesia. As amazing as this is, we can be safe in the knowledge that the art world has become a lot more involved as of late, by which I mean in recent human memory. While we have been wearing more than just a metaphorical leaf over one's bits, this too needs its own past, present, and potential future deep dive what we'll miss episode, but we will get there at some point. Either way, the future of art is forever at the whim of technology of the times. Paint, sculpture, photography, video, CGI, etc. While branding has quite a rich history, which is probably best not dived into too deeply. Sorry to my vegan friends. Number 13. Entertainment. Campfire storytelling. The most important side effects of comfort, excess calories, and relative safety. Our intelligent yet still itchy-footed monkey brains have socially evolved through the art of storytelling. Over generations, these campfire stories turned into societal culture, becoming part of the internal narratives that we use to identify ourselves. This later becomes more prevalent in ideological state apparatuses, such as education, religion, and more obviously in the modern age, the internet. Arguably, the internet is the most entertaining fire there could ever be. There are definitely more interesting dumpster fires that can be called current events around the world, but at the very least they are entertaining, while the world burns around us. Jokes aside, it has the potential to recreate society in both the utopian ideals of an unforeseen future, or can help the human species amplify the worst parts of themselves. The future is ours, and together we can get to either eventuality.